Kingston. Thanks, Krista. So I am also joined with Krista, who is offering some background support this morning. Zoom is very new to health promotion as we deliver our virtual programming. So, you know, teamwork makes the dream work here. Krista will also be facilitating our live prize draw today, so more details to follow. Just in a few minutes, we'll get to that exciting contest that we have running with our sponsor, Black Bear Gear. So today we are talking about ways in which we can make meaningful connections. And this topic goes along with all of the other webinars we facilitated in June, and it coincides with Community Recreation's June is Rec Month theme, 30 Days for Connection. So during the pandemic, the world has learned a whole lot in regards to continuing to connect with others without being able to see or hug or kiss or eat together or cheers together, or overall be social in person. But technology did, however, come to the rescue in some areas for that. Was it enough to maintain that connection with others? Before the pandemic, we were deeply connected with technology through social media, Netflix, shopping online, gaming online, and many more. However, many of us still did feel lonely in real life. And loneliness is correlated with poorer mental health, increased health issues, decreased immunity, and even early mortality. The World Health Organization has actually declared loneliness a public health concern. And when we talk about loneliness, we are describing it as a lack of emotional, psychological connection. So how can we prevent these feelings of loneliness and make more meaningful connections in our lives, especially now as we begin to re-enter or increase our social interaction in person? And how do we find that meaningful balance of connection through in-person and virtual experiences? Because that's still going to be the case as we slowly move forward into a deeper sense of, I guess, into normalcy, going back into normal life. So before we get started on the content, I just have a few points that I wanted to review with the audience. The presentation you're about to view is the property of D&D, so any reproduction of the slides is forbidden. Please understand that people's stories are theirs alone to tell, and anything that is shared today within the webinar is not to be discussed outside of the webinar. We'll please maintain that confidentiality. And the webinar is being recorded today, and it will be loaded onto cafconnection.ca for viewing for those who are unable to join us today for the live session. So we do encourage you to have your cameras on, but just note that you may be in the recording. If you don't feel comfortable, that's okay too. We encourage participation throughout the webinar. I will be using the chat function, and of course, if you would like to use the mic, you can do so as well. Before we get to the prize information, I actually have a poll I would like to share with you. We always like to know who is joining us for our Wednesday webinars. So I invite you to complete the poll and identify whether you're a CAF member, regular reserve, or retired CAF member, family member, or civilian staff, either D&D or NPF. So it looks like we have Reg Force, family, and civilian staff, NPF civilian staff with us today. So thanks everyone for completing that for us. That's great. Now I am going to give the floor to Krista, and she will talk about our prizes for June and our sponsor, Black Bear Gear.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Thanks, Jackie. Just quickly, not to take too much of Jackie's time because we are all on limited time. We have an amazing sponsor for our Wellness Wednesday webinars right now is Black Bear Gear. And if you in the poll identified as any of the categories other than NPF employee and would like to be eligible for the prize, please put your name in the chat and I will put them in our little draw bag and I will draw that at the end. So today we are drawing for a live draw for the tactical pen, which is, can you guys see my cursor? I think so. Here with the pen, there's also a sharp edge on the side of it. It's at a value of about $20. So today somebody will be the lucky winner of that tactical pen, as well as our monthly draw prize, which is going to be the luminous flashlight, which is extremely bright in a dark situation. We also have the car escape tool with the seatbelt cutter, the window breaker, a Black Bear Gear shirt, and then also that ID tag, which is always super handy and helpful when we're trying to get in somewhere but it's always there. So it's great. And then also the holster or the holder for the for the luminous flashlight. So that'll be our grand prize, which will be drawn by the end of this week because today is our last day of June, which I cannot believe, but here we are. And then also after this webinar, we will be taking a hold or a pause for our webinars for July and August, but we will be sending out a survey so that we can target the topics and the timings of the Wellness Wednesday webinars leading into the fall. So Black Bear Gear has also agreed to sponsor that survey for us. So opportunities to complete that survey in person and also through our social media. So if you are interested in what the next grand prize will be, then definitely take a look in completing that survey when it comes up. So follow us on social media so that you're able to complete that. So again, if you would like to be entered in for the draws, please in the chat, just put I'm in or yes, please, or whatever that might be, and I'll add your name to the draw list. Looking forward to the lucky winner this week. Thanks, Jackie.
Thanks so much, Krista. So for your chance to win, simply put your name in the chat and we'll collect those names for the draw at the end of this session. All right, so today we're going to talk about those meaningful connections. So first we're going to dive into who do we connect with? Who can we develop those meaningful connections with? What is it? What does meaningful connections mean to you? What's so great about connecting with others? And then we'll finish things off with identifying 5 ways in which we can better connect with ourselves and others. So what does connection mean to you? I invite you to tell me in the chat, or if you would prefer to use your microphone, you can do that as well. What are your thoughts on this? What does connection mean to you? Sharon says a sense of belonging. Feeling comfortable about telling jokes. I have a dry sense of humor, says Catherine. Yeah, absolutely. Feeling that sense of ease with a relationship or with a particular person, right? Where it's just easy and comfortable to be with them, share with them, tell jokes. Yeah, absolutely. That's what comes to mind for myself as well.
I find that really, I think I talk faster than I type. So I think that especially with the Canadian Forces and what we're seeing right now with a lot of the senior leadership, so you're looking at Operation Honor and what's been going on. So we're all aware of what's happened. And so I think for me, and it's not that I tell racist jokes or sexist jokes, but you have to be so careful about anything you say. So I don't even want to joke anymore with people. It's just to a point where you want to have that comfort level.
Yeah, absolutely. And you make a really good point with that, right? Like things are changing, right? We're becoming more aware and more mindful of how to deliver our message and communicate with others, right? In such a way that we're able to maintain and deliver that respect. And we're learning, right? Because it's just changing in how we see things and understand things. So this is an opportunity to really reflect on ourselves and how we see things and how we can communicate better, but still have fun while doing it, right? Absolutely. Really great point. Another question that I wanted to throw out there as well was, what makes connection so meaningful to you or to others? Or how does connection make you feel? I mean, I guess we somewhat described that, or it was described in the chat, feeling a sense of belonging, feeling comfort. But what really does make it meaningful, and why is it important? Mark says you feel valued. Absolutely. There's a sense of validation in some situations and relationships and conversations that you can feel when you're really connecting with somebody, that sense of belonging.
I have to say that just feeling that level of support, and right now I'm living through it just with result to, because of everything that's gone on. I've been separated from my husband, just physically, not legally. And as a result of that, I've been stuck at home with 2 small kids for the last, I don't know, year and a half, and not being supported has put such a mental strain that I'm now down to half days and going through some stuff with the transition unit, just because I don't want to fail in my job. So I took a knee. It was just something that had to be done. So that being supported.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. And that's quite powerful. And thank you for sharing that. I mean, that's such a struggle, right? And being able to recognize, okay, I need to try and balance this out, and I want to succeed in all areas, and really, having the strength to figure out what that is and act on that, and feeling good about that, being able to share it and communicating that. And it's okay, right? You're focusing on family, which is important, but it's also an opportunity to still take that break so you can continue on in your career and go further in that as well. So thanks for sharing that, Catherine. It's tough. It's been really tough right now, for sure. Krista says, knowing something out there is bigger than what's happening with you. Yeah. Yeah. And she also states, good for you to self-recognize that as well, Catherine. And I think Alana had mentioned a point too as well, about feeling happy. I saw that in the chat earlier, and I think that's key as well. Overall, you receive positive feelings from having connections with others, and as well as being able to connect to yourself and self-reflect on your own habits and quirks and passions, can really help you overall feel good about yourself and life in general. And no, that's great. That's great. Thanks everyone for sharing. So who do we connect with? Family, which seems somewhat obvious, but having those deep connections with family is key. Having those close friendships and connections with our friends, and sometimes our friends can be an outlet from our family relationships and connections too. And because those connections may differ as well between our family and friends. Coworkers, of course, there's connections made there through work. We spend a whole lot of time with our colleagues, and often they're seen as our second family. And in some ways, we're possessing the same passions and purpose as well. So that can amplify our connections with our coworkers too. The person at the checkout or the server in a restaurant, that human connection with a stranger, those few minutes or chatter or laughs or jokes can really amplify your mood, lift your spirits. How many times have you left a store or a business with a big smile on your face, because sometimes unknowingly, because of that human interaction with a complete stranger? And I think that was huge during the pandemic as well. I know for me, I had a dentist appointment when we were in lockdown, and I really get anxious and hate going to the dentist. But when I got there, I was so happy to actually talk to somebody other than, it's just me and my daughter, right? Just talk to somebody in person. And it was a great experience at the dentist that day. I was just so happy to get out and about. So it just goes to show that human to human interaction can be such a powerful mood booster, even with a complete stranger. So who's missing from this list? Pets, absolutely, Elena. I love it. Sharon, pets. Yeah, definitely connecting. Pets are huge when it comes to lifting our spirits and our moods as well. Yeah, we can't forget about our furry little friends for sure. But the answer I was looking for was you, right? So knowing yourself and getting to know yourself is a key to better connecting with others as well. So why do we want to connect with others? So the Harvard study of adult development, which is the longest existing study on physical and mental health, and it started 80 years ago and it's still going. The results of it have actually surprised researchers in the sense of its findings around friendship and relationships. And here's a quote here from the article. Close relationships, more than money or fame, are what keep people happy throughout their lives. Those ties protect people from life's discontents, help to delay mental and physical decline, and are better predictors of long and happy lives, more so than social class, IQ, or even genes. So making connections with diverse people and groups can be very satisfying, interesting, and very exciting. If you are interested in having a read on the power of connection and our overall quality of life, Krista will share the article in the chat there. She has the link there, and feel free to click on that and save it to your bookmarks just to have a little read on some more information in regards to that study. Thanks, Krista. Now, before we go further in the content, we're gonna show you a little HP commercial, and this commercial was created by Krista Snow. I just have to move my chat box to press play. Oops. There we go. Sorry. All right, that was amazing, Krista. And I think that I just noticed, and you probably all noticed, you didn't get to hear the lovely music that was behind that commercial. So I apologize for that. There's a button I was supposed to click, I think, before I started. So we're still learning here. But we can send this to you. We'll send this to you in a follow-up email so you can watch the commercial and hear the music. So just to reiterate some of the messaging in this, health promotion, as Krista mentioned, we're on hold with our webinars for July and August, but we're really looking forward to our fall programming in person. So stay tuned for that schedule. We're working on it. Our July calendar you can find at pspkingston.com, and we're still around. We still have things happening, and you can get a sense of what's happening this summer by going to that calendar. And we're still around to come into units, either in person or virtually, to provide briefings. So connect with us. We'd be more than happy to come in and deliver some education and awareness based on the needs and the wants of your unit. So connect with us anytime. So how do we achieve connection? So I'm just going to review a few points here that can, and some of these you may already do, some of these, may seem like common sense you've heard before, but it can't hurt to kind of refresh and or as a reminder to perhaps continue to do this or get started on doing this more, especially as we are again re-entering our social lives a little bit more. So first of all, you want to schedule you time. This is that self-care element. This is where you can get to know more of what your true interests are and to pursue them. This is where you can achieve connections with others and make them more genuine and meaningful by starting with yourself. Connect with your talents, your imperfections, do things that you love to do and that drive you. Number 2, reach out and set a time. How often have you run into an old friend or family member and said, let's get together sometime, and then it never happens? We all do it, but in order to perhaps reconnect with them or maintain that connection, reach out and set a time and schedule that time with that person to again, amplify that connection with them. And for all you introverts out there, it doesn't mean you have to immediately be a social butterfly, as that can be a huge stressor. You can still find that balance in person and virtual. Maybe start out with a virtual connection session through Facebook or something, or through Zoom, and then schedule an in-person experience or date next time. So really taking action and reaching out and setting a time is key. Listen and be present. So this is huge when it comes to connecting with others, being able to listen attentively and actively and being in the moment. Being aware and being present in your body language, your eye contact, minimizing those distractions, putting your cell phone away, embracing the moment, embracing the dialogue, paying attention to feelings and reactions within the conversation, whether they're happy or sad, really being able to recognize and connect with them and empathize with others can increase that connection and that relationship with someone else. Being present amplifies the moment, and you're able to appreciate that experience and that time spent with that person more. Number 4 is ask questions. People love to tell their story, and people's stories are most often very interesting, and you can learn a whole lot about a person. This is an opportunity where you can better understand where their beliefs come from, where their passions come from. So being able to ask questions, but also being able to be open and honest and transparent on your side as well, and be able to tell your story. And that again can really heighten that connection with others in those relationships. Number 5, last but definitely not least, is having fun, right? So having a spirit of curiosity is key. So being open to trying new things with others or yourself, experiencing new activities, new places, and this can really make that human connection really fun. Experiencing something new for the first time with someone else creates memories and can again really heighten that connection with somebody. Humor, of course, can really lift your mood and connection with others. This list includes games and parties and other activities that you can do to increase connection, but this isn't an exhaustive list. There's so many things that you can do to create that fun experience with someone else. It's really just about being able to let loose, relax, and enjoy that moment and that experience with someone else. So some things that you can do to go get connected, and these are some immediate things that you can do, and I've listed our Discovery Walk route, which is something that ComRec has hosted for June is Rec Month. Now this actually happened last week, but today is the last day in which you can participate, so you can gather friends, family, colleagues, and you can participate in the Discovery Walk. Krista shared the link in the chat. Completing the discovery walk also enters you into a prize to win a $500 Via Rail voucher. So you have until the end of today to participate in that. And it's a way to get connected with the community. Arrowhead Beach is another great way to perhaps try something new, experience something new with a colleague, family, or friends at Arrowhead Beach. Several water activities that you can participate in: paddleboard, kayaks, canoes, swimming. Even if you want to go solo, just take a book, sit on the bench and read a book and just connect with nature, connect with the community that way. Facebook and Instagram, a virtual way to connect and stay connected with the PSP community as well as the CAF community as a whole. So at PSP Kingston is where you will get all of those updates on everything PSP, including health promotion programs. So coming this fall, or maybe within some of the events that health promotion's offering this summer, grab a colleague, grab your family member, because they're more than welcome to participate in any health promotion program or event. And try a new program or event. Try participate in the mind muscle program that we have, our Monkey Mind Mondays, where you do a 45-minute meditation practice. That could be something new that you experience with a friend or family member. Maybe in the fall, grab your colleague and say, hey, let's take the Mission Nutrition program or Stress Take Charge. Again, another way to connect the CAF community and learn something new. On that note, we're going to get to the live prize draw for the tactical bear pen is what I was going to say. Well, it is a black bear gear tactical pen.
It's like Benifer, like you just put it all together. Right?
Exactly.
All right. So we have two people. We have somebody who is here on through phone. So I'm not sure who it is. It just comes up as the phone number. But if you want to unmute yourself and let me know, if you're eligible for the prize, which is as long as you're not an NPF employee. Basically, all the other categories of CAF Community Kingston allows you to be entered. So I'm not sure who that is, but if you want to unmute yourself and then let me know your name, if you want, I'll give you a minute to decide to do that. And then if so, we can add you to the draw. Okay. Last chance. All right. Okay. So we will do the draw. I don't know if you guys can see me because I have my background on, but I'll try to put, can you guys see? Okay. There we go. Person is. It's Catherine. Oh. I don't know. Can you see?
Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
Perfect. So Catherine will be in touch with you to coordinate the pickup for the pen and the tactical pen. And then also you'll be entered in for, everyone will be entered into our grand prize draw, which will be happening at the end of this week. So we will contact you. Good day to participate. And then good luck to everybody else when you join us again back in September for our more Wellness Wednesday webinars. Thanks, Jackie.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. And if you need to reach out or connect with us anytime, Health Promotion Kingston at cfmws.com is probably the best way to connect. And we really look forward to seeing all of you in person moving forward. So have a wonderful summer, everyone. Enjoy your weekend and have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Jackie. Thanks, Krista.
Oh.